Crown of the head is up with the eyes looking down. We have maximum extension of elbow and wrist, maximum lateral rotation. Flex the arm to the level of the coronal plane, so arm in line with ear, out 45, and then press away from your body. And while we're resting, let's continue with our exercise demonstration for exercises to help with spinal decompression. Right now, I'm going to be demonstrating the T11-T12 ELDOA. The purpose of this exercise is to create space between the T11-T12 vertebra, and if there is any type of compression at the T11 or T12 nerve roots, this can affect your spinal extension, flexion, rotation, lateral flexion, elevation and depression of the rib cage, as well as inspiration and expiration. The nerve plexus that is most likely going to be affected is going to be the lumbar sympathetic plexus, and the nerve that is most likely going to be affected is going to be the subcostal nerve. This can manifest as weakness in the rectus abdominis, the external and internal obliques, the transverse abdominis, the quadratus lumborum, and the pyramidalis. You can also experience pain or paresthesia in the epigastric area, the umbilical area, or the groin area. If you are experiencing any of those symptoms, go ahead and give this exercise a try. With regard to this exercise, this is going to be a unilateral exercise, meaning we would want to perform it on both sides, and we're going to be in a seated position. For the exercise, the non-working side, we want to go and take that knee into maximum knee extension. And then at the ankle, we want to go into pseudo inversion. That is a combination of dorsiflexion by pointing the toes toward our head, and inversion of the ankle by turning the sole of the foot inward toward the midline. At the coxofemoral joint, we're going to go into medial rotation of the hip by turning those toes in. And then with the working side, the leg, we want to go into flexion of the hip and knee until the knee is approximately 90 degrees. We want to take that leg, we want to drive the knee down toward the floor, and then from this position over here at the pelvis, we want to go into retroversion of the pelvis or a posterior pelvic tilt. The coccyx is pressing down into the ground, and then with the non-working arm, we're just going to rest it on our thigh. At the spine, we want to maintain a nice tall spine, so we have a flat lumbar spine, flat thoracic spine, retropulsion of the cervical spine by keeping that chin tucked in. We have the crown of the head pushing up in the opposite direction of the coccyx with the eyes looking down at the floor to put the dura mater under tension. And with the working limb, we're going to go into maximum extension of the elbow and wrist, maximum lateral rotation or external rotation. Go into the level of the coronal plane by getting that bicep in line with the ear. And then we're going to go out 45 degrees and press away from our body on that 45-degree angle. Just to recap, we have maximum extension of knee, dorsiflexion, inversion of ankle with medial rotation of femur, flexion of the knee to approximately 90 degrees, and then we're pressing the knee down to the ground. We're resting the hand on our thigh. We got retroversion of the pelvis or posterior pelvic tilt. Coccyx is pushing down into the ground with a flat lumbar spine, flat thoracic spine, retropulsion of the cervical spine, crown of the head is up with the eyes looking down. We have maximum extension of elbow and wrist, maximum lateral rotation. Flex the arm to the level of the coronal plane, so arm in line with ear, out 45, and then press away from your body. And we are going to maintain all of that for a total of 1 minute. After 1 minute, we could go ahead and slowly come on out of the posture. And that is how we would perform the T11-T12 ELDOA. If you are experiencing any neurological symptoms or any type of weakness, pain, or paresthesia in any of the areas that I mentioned, go ahead, give the T11-T12 ELDOA a try. During the next rest period, I'm going to be demonstrating the T12L1 ELDOA, but for right now, our rest period is up. It is time for set number 2. That was just a tiny taste of what can be found in my members only section. If you enjoyed it, become a member for only $5 a month to get access to hundreds of member only videos.